Hey ladies and gents, welcome back to another video, and oh my god, we just got major news coming out of the whole Microsoft Activision business, because wow, this is huge. This is pretty huge, and if you're a Nintendo owner, you should be very happy about this and hope that the deal goes through, because if the deal goes through, you're going to be pretty happy, I would say. Well, what am I talking about? Well, this is what Phil Spencer put out on Twitter, last night by the time this video, but by the time of recording, this was maybe an hour or two ago. But anyway, Microsoft has a 10-year commitment to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo following the merger of Microsoft and Activision Blizzard King. Microsoft is committed to helping bring more games to more people however they choose. I'm also pleased to confirm that Microsoft has committed to continue to offer Call of Duty on Steam simultaneously to Xbox after we have closed the merge with Activision Blizzard King. So Steam got some good news too for PC guys, because I know that it's a thing in the PC community where there's so many different launchers, because Activision has their own launcher, Bethesda used too, Ubisoft does, EA with Origin, Epic Game Store, Microsoft Store itself. You kind of get the whole idea. There's multiple launchers on PC. Heck, even CDPR does with GOG. I know that's not as really, nobody really talks about that one that much, but it's obviously a thing. And I believe it's the only DMR free one, I believe, which kind of helped give CDPR that pro-consumer thing they had before the disastrous launch Cyberpunk, but whatever. And Brad Sams also chimed in, and seemed like they essentially took a shot at Sony over the whole BS. But anyway, getting into that, our acquisition will bring Call of Duty to more gamers and more platforms than ever before. That's good for competition and good for their consumers. Thank you, Nintendo. Any day Sony wants to sit down and talk, we'll be happy to hammer out a 10-year deal for PlayStation as well. And here's another. Oh, talk about a shot right there. And Dina actually noted something from when they had an interview with Phil Spencer. As she pointed out on Twitter, Microsoft offers a similar deal to Sony, but they haven't accepted yet. It's pretty obvious why. I'll get to that in a minute. Xbox PC or Phil Spencer is not mincing words about it. From where we sit, it's clear they're spending more time with the regulators than they are with us to try to get this deal done, he said in an interview. Hey Sony.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Yeah, so what do I mean by that? Why did I use that clip? Because it's pretty obvious what Sony wants to do. They're not willing to accept any deal. They want the deal to get blocked. They don't want any concessions, because they essentially just want Call of Duty to be associated with the PlayStation branding. Kind of like their whole thing with the whole Marvel stuff. They want the Marvel name, in terms of gaming, to be associated with PlayStation. That's what they're angling for. It's all about marketing and the exclusive DLC shit they've been getting with Call of Duty for years. They want this deal blocked because he's essentially they are literally demanded that Microsoft not put Call of Duty on motherfucking Game Pass, or it has to be on both on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. And that Sony still has the marketing rights and the whole exclusivity bullshit with, the skins and all that crap that Sony's been doing for the last several years. Hell, they locked entire modes off of the other platforms for a whole literal year. Y'all remember, Spec Ops Survival for Modern Warfare 1? I'm not sure if that's the same thing with Modern Warfare 2 that just came out. You could correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I know they had exclusive XP bonuses and all that for PlayStation users. I know that much. At least that's all I know really when it comes to the whole exclusivity on the new Call of Duty. So if y'all know, you could correct me on that one. But it's pretty obvious that I don't think Sony really wants to accept the deal, because essentially it's either two things. One, they want the deal blocked, or they want it in writing where Call of Duty will be on PlayStation forever. And you don't write that in perpetuity. I probably said that wrong, in business. That's not a good business decision. Because who really knows if Call of Duty will still be as big as it would be in 10 years when these deals are up. in what, 2034 or something like that, which is when, you know, the current deal between Sony and Activision ends, which is 2024. So we can't predict what will happen in the next 10 years. So it does not make sense that Microsoft would ever agree to that. There's no way, or any of the demands that Sony is demanding in order for them to be okay with Microsoft acquiring Activision. And there's the whole union thing, where Microsoft is pretty neutral, and they'll let the employees decide that for themselves if they want to unionize or not, which is great, because the CWA is actually in support of the acquisition due to Microsoft's stance on, you know, unions. I know I probably said it wrong, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So, like, it's going to be interesting to see. It seems that, I don't know about y'all, but it kind of seems that, as Hulk Law put it, it seems that we're in a drip feed when it comes to this deal. It seems like things are really picking up. And apparently the FTC is going to make a decision on whether to further probe this investigation or whatnot in a meeting on Thursday. You know, by the time you see this video, would be tomorrow. So it's going to be, but it seems things are picking up. And I guess the sooner this deal gets done and approved, the further we all can move on from it. And we can actually all just talk about games again, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting real sick of tired and talking about this acquisition. But at the same time, though, it's pretty entertaining to see all this drama from these mega corporations. All in all, massive win for Nintendo users, because Call of Duty has not been on a Nintendo platform since the early Wii U days, and that was almost, you know, 10 years ago. The Wii U came out 10 years ago, but Ghost was the last Call of Duty to be on a Nintendo platform, and then Activision stopped after that. And I really doubt, if this deal wasn't happening, I kind of doubt, you know, Call of Duty would ever end up on a Nintendo platform again, to be honest with you, because it's been almost a decade without COD on Nintendo's platform. So what do I think about, like, what's gonna happen? It seems to me that three things, actually, possible things. One, in the short term, it would be Call of Duty Mobile on Switch, because I think that can easily run on the Switch pretty comfortably. Two, cloud for the mainline Call of Duty games. Or number three, and this is, I think, is the most likeliest out of the three, where in the future on the next Nintendo platform, when it's the Switch 2 or something else, but I personally think it's going to be the Switch 2. It would be kind of a no-brainer move, but again, this is Nintendo, though, we're talking about here. But yeah, so I definitely think 3 is the most likeliest, at least for the long-term future, and for the short term, I do think Call of Duty Mobile, and maybe Activision will port one of the older Call of Duty games on the Switch to kind of test the waters. But which Call of Duty, though, who knows? Probably like one of the more popular ones. Hey, why don't you port the what was it? Hold on a minute, I gotta think of this. The 2016 Modern Warfare Remaster. How about that? I mean, one of the most popular Call of Duty games of all time. You know, put that on the Switch, the remaster. So that was done for the PS4 and Xbox One versions. I'm sure the Switch could run that at 30 FPS or whatnot. But all in all, for mainline Call of Duty games in the future, I think that's going to be for like the next gen system, because I really doubt the current Switch can run those. I very much doubt it. But a next gen Switch, yeah, absolutely, I could totally see that happening. But all in all, massive news for Nintendo, and it's gonna be and now the ball's in Sony's court with this whole thing, as Brad Smith said. Dang, there's too many Brads when it comes to Microsoft news or whatever. Because there's the Brad Sams guy who covers all Microsoft stuff, and then there's Brad Smith, who is the president of Microsoft. But that's a whole different topic. But all in all, massive news for Nintendo users. So okay, I think I've gone on long enough. What do you guys think of this major news? It's huge, to say the least. So if you like this video, hit the like button, comment down below what you think, and consider hitting that sub button so you do not miss any more videos. I'm gonna definitely be covering this situation more, because the deal just intrigues me, just because of all the drama surrounding it. But anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Have a great one.